Hey guys, Sonic 7 here, and we are back. I know it sounds crazy to say, and you're thinking to yourself, hey, you just finished Sonic Unleashed, and by just, I mean 2 months ago. Why are we back in this game? You haven't played Journey in about a year and a half, and you are correct. I have looked it up. The last time I played Journey, fun fact, LeBron had not won a championship in Cleveland yet. The president was still Barack Obama. So clearly a lot has changed, but we are back. We are here at the end of level 2, which if you guys remember in the previous episode, for anyone who maybe is watching this in a playlist of just me going forward with this, we actually scaled up these little pathways before us, and it was kind of teaching us another part of the life lesson of this game to me, which is learning to embrace the support of others. And to me, like, how I really want to be doing this Let's Play is walking through every stage as kind of it's a different stage of life and relating it to myself again of like what has happened in the past of this. So I just wanted to comment really quick on the change of level, then I'll give a quick comment as to maybe why it's been a little bit of time since we had the last video. So here we notice a really marked change from the previous part. For those who maybe watched this a year and a half ago, maybe a quick refresh of it, it was just very dark sand. And I think a little bit of kind of like, you're not fully out there yet, versus now it really feels bright color, bright landscape, bright sand. We're very much in a new stage of the game and also, you know, our journey in that sense. So to kind of quickly comment here, I'm going to move to the right because, at least from what I saw, there's a scarf piece we can pick up if we head to the right here. If not, I'll end up just cutting out the walk back. So, but basically, it's been about 2 months since I finished off Sonic Unleashed. I know I talked about doing a bonus part of it, and I actually will not, unfortunately, be able to do it. Due to an error, the save file I had actually got corrupted. So, no offense to anyone who watches the show and really has enjoyed the videos, but I just feel like it's not worth me trying to collect all 200 medals of each type again and rebeating the entire game, just to try to show off a bonus video of like, here's some other content you can do when you're done with the game. The idea would have revolved around, and these are things you can look up. Okay, cool, that scarf piece is actually there if you see it in the far kind of center of the screen. The idea around those bonus episodes would have been that you can do hot dog challenges, which is basically redoing the stages we had already done, but having to finish with a certain amount of rings, finishing it with a certain portion of your health only, things like that. So kind of challenges to make the level seem harder. And then the other part would have been actually about how you level up both Sonic and the Werehog. And basically, if you guys remember, with the Werehog especially, we were getting to strength levels at the end where you need like 30 plus levels to actually be able to level up all the way. It actually gets to the point where for your final level, you need about 99 levels. And each stage you can beat maybe gives you a max if you really grind all the enemies a lot of maybe like 10 levels. And you're thinking to yourself, like, that just sounds so annoying. Why would I want to do all that work? To which I say, you're completely right. It's not worth doing all that work. The nice part about that game is actually you find this guy. If you guys want to look him up, you can talk about it, or I'm also happy to answer questions about it in the Sonic videos. This guy's name is Wentos. He's basically a traveling salesman. He'll be at one of the outposts. You have to find him at random. And what he'll do is he'll have goods at sale for 3 different prices. You want to find goods that he sells for low prices, and then as a result, sell them back to him at other venues for higher prices, basically making free rings. Once you have free rings, you can buy certain foods he has that give you a lot of experience. He sells these foods that can give you half a level of experience just by eating one of them, and you can buy up to 100 at a time, meaning right there 50 levels. So a little bit monotonous, you kind of grind the process. That was really what I was going to be showing. But as you know, I think I've talked a little bit too much about a non-journey game as we're starting back up on our journey Let's Play here. So let's get back to this stage. So as I kind of talked about, the idea of this stage that really stuck out to me the first time I played it was really, first of all, the color contrast that we have compared to the previous stages. So the previous stage is a great representation. It's probably the sand that's right behind me here. This very dark, kind of a way that like nothing's really that figured out yet. Versus it didn't feel like we had a very open path or a bright horizon or anything. This is very much of the idea of like you are in control, like let's go, like you're starting to figure this out. But there's a big difference here is that like in the previous stages there were things that were around leading us around, and here it feels like we're really just alone. And like I don't say that in a negative way. I just mean that in like kind of a, it is different, right? So one thing I want to point out is as you're walking here, you're gonna see this light shoot out. What you actually want to do is follow this light, wait for it to fall, and you want to follow this light, and it's going to point you to where the next scarf piece is. I forget if it's this one or if it's the second one as we get closer. I think this one's going to go behind us, so I think it is the second one. We'll keep an eye on this one to be safe. But basically, how this game goes is that they shoot at two lights. This first light will shoot way back, which leads us to a skill we need, or like a collectible we can find to get an achievement called a desert flower. The second one, which we see well ahead of us here, leads us to where the next scarf piece is. So this is actually a very easy beacon because there's a huge desert. Rightfully, they thought, hey, we really need to get like a good sense of like where do they need to be going. And as I say this, I believe actually this is the one that leads to the desert flower. Sees it right, yeah, we see it right above us. And I just want to make sure it's not going to crash like right away. Yeah, that's a little too far for me. I want to go back. And the other one, if we saw it, actually crashed a little bit up into the right here. So right up there, you see it here. And an easy way of how you can find this is, again, you can just follow the light that comes out from the mountain, and we'll show you the path. Otherwise, kind of walk straight towards the mountain for a while and eventually look to your right, you'll see this. But going back again to what this thing means to me is that there was a really big thing that kind of stuck out to me here, which is that as I was looking around, I kind of got this strange feeling of like, imagine when you were that kid, and I don't know if this is everyone, but this is an experience I definitely had. You're a kid, you move either to a new town or you switch to a new school. And you are very much just not knowing what to do, not knowing where to go. And, you know, you feel like unless someone's here to guide you, someone's here to show you something, you're very much just on your own. And it's hard, like, because I think what happens is you end up exploring around, trying to find your own way. And sometimes throughout it, and this is going to be overly cheesy as I say it, but we're getting to this part where we get back to dark sand, there's a shadow and a little bit more of like kind of an ominous sense to it as you really feel that bass setting in. And it reminds me of the idea like how when you're in a new environment, you know, new school, new friends, whatever it may be, there's a lot of times where you're just doubting, what am I doing? Is this the right idea? I feel like I don't fit in. And you know, sometimes the path is literally not that clear, and like maybe I'm taking a bit of this a little too literally at times, but to me I thought it was very interesting of how they present it, is that nothing here is particularly for sure of where to go. I don't know what to be doing here either. And then there it is, perfect. Then all of a sudden, where did it go? It was just up here. There we go. Sometimes out of nowhere you end up finding a new friend, you end up making a new connection, something that makes you feel more comfortable with where you were. One friend leads you to another friend. And it just ends up to the point where like soon before long, you end up finding people who are not only actively helping you along, but people who like the second you're hanging out with them more, you're feeling better than you ever did before you were in this new entire environment, to the point where like, yeah, at times it's super scary, I guess, to like go into a new environment there, like not have those friends, not have that immediate comfort zone. But at the same point, I think there's so much that can be gained of you meet these people, you learn more from them, and I think that as a result you tend to grow a lot. And I know this is kind of like a long-winded example that maybe is taken a little bit too literally from this climb, but to me it really spoke out to when I got to college, which was, I think in high school I was a very non-social person. I had a few close friends, but nothing much. And I think as a result, you tend to find a natural comfort zone with those few friends. But once you get to a place like college, it's just, everything is so different. There's so many possibilities, so much to do, to a point where I don't know about like, you know, where I should be going, what I should be doing. And you're kind of forced to have to start from square one all over again. A nice part about college for me was that a lot of people were in that same scenario, so I think more people are willing to want to make those connections. But this really spoke out to me as that one that started in such a kind of valley of nothingness to really get into this pit of, I would almost call it doubt of, is this the right decision? Where do I go from here? What can I do? And it actually leads to a point where we got a lot higher up and a lot further along in our path and our journey and kind of our life in that sense, by embracing others than we would have by ourselves. And I know that kind of touches a little bit on the previous episode, but I think this one was more so about the, not only just meeting someone and first learning the lesson, but really this time it's kind of almost venturing out of your way into somewhere that's completely new, which I think is an entire extra step of really when it comes to making friends, making relationships, and moving on in your life. But one thing I want to point out really quick before we finish this level is you see I only got 3 of the 4 scarf pieces. I'm actually going to backtrack right now and find the other one. Just cut to when I find it really quick, and then we'll cut to when we're back up here. So I'll see you guys then. Hey guys, so we're back. And it's if you backtrack from where we started up here, what you're going to see is actually if you head kind of almost straight back, think about it just moving straight away from the mountain here. Right before we get to the ridge, maybe about 2 hills before it there, you're going to see this kind of like large temple structure almost. And at the very top of it is the last scarf piece that we need. So what I'm going to do really quick here is just walk over here, get the scarf pieces that are here to 1, restore my scarf, but 2, give me that very friendly boost that we have always appreciated from them. Just to push me over to the stairs here, perfect. And then from here, maybe use these guys as well, and then get that extra boost, and then use my own scarf to boost me a little bit more, perfect, got the last piece. So that's all 4 pieces for this one. Pretty easy where we go now, which is just head back to where we were there. Again, once you get over here, so again, so it's just this 1 hill, and then I want to say it's the 2nd hill right here. And then once we hit that, it's pretty much just a downhill right back to where we were. So I'll cut to right when we're back on top of that tower, right when we're about to end the level. So I'll see you guys there. All right, guys, so we are back. And as you see now, we have collected all 4 scarf pieces. We have everything. Our scarf is pretty long at this point. Might want to consider folding that around us a few times there. But we're going to do really quick, hold circle, activate all these beacons, which of course just makes this magical space appear in the middle here, where we're going to sit down and get the vision of what is to happen next. And again, we're transported to this land that really is, you know, so unexplainable to us, but there's this kind of like elder, guardian, whatever you want to call it there, who shows us a bit of what we've done and a bit of what's to come of our journey here, which is that we've kind of slowly just started our ascent, as you see like the ones before us have. And really that flashing tower to me is what we had just climbed up. And what we see there is like you're eventually building up to kind of what is almost like a peak, as you saw that the highest you got there, and then after where that last person was, it all kind of went down from there. Kind of a sign of maybe what's to come, but I'm not really sure. But from here, I really do want to end up this first episode. Just keep time reasonable here. Guys, it is great to be back. It's so much fun to be playing this game again, and I'm really excited to keep up with this idea. The more you guys comment, tell me your thoughts as we go, the more fun this can be too. So please let me know what you guys think. Please let me know if this level spoke out to you in a different way. So guys, this has been Sly Sonic 7, and I'll see you guys in the next one.